Hi, Stacey. So this week's Dear Biffle Talks Doctor Who is once again late. It was my mom's birthday, and there was new Doctor Who, and then I had to work Mother's Day. I hate Mother's Day. So today's Dear Biffle Talks Doctor Who video is a bit of an odd duck because I have two things that I want to talk about, neither of which will make a full 7-minute video, but together might. So let's give that a shot. First off, Mother's Day. Although I hate Mother's Day, and I do because I work in the restaurant industry, it's a day, one of those invented by Hallmark companies, in which we honor our moms, which I think is nice. But everybody in the universe decides to take their mom out to eat for Mother's Day, and generally what that means is I'm on my feet from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Running and fetching and carrying for people who are completely ungrateful to me for doing it. And I don't get to see my mother on a day that also happens to be my mother's birthday, which is great. But nonetheless, the new series of Doctor Who is absolutely riddled with mothers, and I feel that we should thank them. So here we go. Jackie Tyler, you're still my favorite of the companions' mothers. You're wonderful and brassy and beautiful, and I love you. Francine Jones, you are also fantastic. You have wonderful hair and great eyebrows, and you'll do anything to protect your family, and I love that. Sylvia Noble, God, I really don't like you very much, but that's because you're a Harridan. But you're a Harridan because you're afraid for your daughter, and I think that's sweet. Thank you, Russell T Davies, for creating these characters who are wonderful mothers, each in their own way. And that's it for the major mothers in new Doctor Who. So on to the second topic that I wanted to talk about, which is sort of an apology, kind of. As I said before, I've never really gotten into classic Who until now. I went and I watched Spearhead from Space, which was John Pertwee, the Third Doctor's first episode, and fell in love. And I'm doing sort of a whirlwind classic Who tour. I started with John Pertwee, and I watched 3 episodes of his. I watched Spearhead from Space, Doctor Who and the Silurians, and Time Warrior. Oh, and also the 3 Doctors, because I was waiting for a torrent to download. And then I started Tom Baker. I watched Ark in Space, Genesis of the Daleks, which was extremely good, if depressing. And then I watched Pyramids of Mars, which was excellent. And I'm about to embark on a best of Peter Davison, which is great. I'm going to watch Earthshock and Caves of Androzani. And then I'm going to try to watch some Colin Baker. I don't actually like Colin Baker, so this should be interesting. And then Sylvester McCoy, and then I'm going to watch the Paul McGann movie again. And then I might do a best of the new series. And then I'm going to dive back in again. I'm going to go back to John Pertwee and watch them all. Watching NuWho, which I did last night. I watched Rob Sherman's Dalek last night, which is probably my favorite episode of Series 1. Anyway, when I went back and watched one of the best episodes of NuWho, I was struck and felt that maybe I should apologize a little bit to NuWho for slagging them for writing female characters who aren't necessarily up to my par. But the female characters that we have are absolutely fantastic. They're wonderful ladies. Rose Tyler, Martha Jones, Donna Noble, Lady Christina, Adelaide Brooke, they're all amazing women in their own ways. And in addition to being just fantastic people, they get to do really fantastic things. They get to run about the universe, being daft and fixing stuff, save the world. I mean, they get to do those things, whereas in Classic Who, not so much. I've only run across 3 female companions as of yet, Liz Shaw, Jo Grant, and Sarah Jane Smith. Honestly, they don't really get to do much. Sarah Jane gets to do more, but Liz Shaw's entire job is to make the coffee, hand the doctor test tubes, and tell him how brilliant he is. No, really. That's a line in an episode. Jo Grant, she makes the coffee. I'm not entirely sure what else she does in unit as her job, but basically her purpose is to be a plot contrivance in order to get someone in danger to move the plot along. And she does it very well. She runs about screaming like a ninny. But my God, that's bad writing. Sarah Jane Smith gets to do a bit more. She gets to be bright and think of ideas that the Doctor hasn't thought of in Ark in Space, and she gets to actually do some stuff and help save the world. I think this is, of course, indicative of the time. Doctor Who's always been a product of its time, and you know, the world has moved on a bit from the Liz Shaw assistant in the laboratory who tells her male superior that he's brilliant and helps him with his work. And that's really cool to watch the show develop in that way, where the female characters get more to do. And I like that. It's sort of like watching a time capsule. And I'm enjoying that very much. I'm enjoying a great deal about my whirlwind tour of Classic Who. But there it is. My apologies, Russell T. Davies, for slagging your vision of NuWho for its treatment of female characters, because guess what? At least you're doing it better than they did in 1970. Now, granted, that's not much praise considering what was happening in 1970, but still, well done. Although you could do better, mister. Stacey, I will see you in person for actual facts shortly here, which is very exciting. Hopefully I will see a video from you soon on the guilty pleasure topic. Yay! So there we go. Dear Biffle talks Doctor Who for another week. And yet again, my apologies for the late video. It was a tough weekend. Hopefully next week might be on time. Maybe if I get it done before we leave for Falls Church, but it's not a promise. Sorry. But best wishes.